I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
In Hollywood, one moment can change everything. Stars are made overnight, but just as easily, they can fall from grace. A single bad decision, a scandal, or even a public outburst can shatter a career that took years to build. And that is exactly what has happened to some of the biggest names in the industry. The truth is that fame really is fickle, and once your time is up, it's really hard to climb up the ladder again. And who would know better than the 12 actors on this list? These are the stars who had it all, until they lost it. Chapter 1. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. once basked in the limelight, celebrated for his Oscar-winning role in Jerry Maguire, and later admired for his performances in films like Men of Honor and Radio. His exuberant portrayal of the underdog, paired with his charismatic energy, made him a Hollywood favorite. However, in 2019, Gooding's image would be shattered when multiple women accused him of inappropriate behavior. What started as a single allegation quickly snowballed, with more women coming forward, each recounting similar experiences. Gooding faced criminal charges for forcible touching and eventually took a plea deal. He avoided jail time, but his legacy was tainted forever. Today, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s career has largely fizzled, with only small, independent roles keeping him visible. He remains a case study of how nothing ever stays hidden in Hollywood, no matter how deep you try to bury it. But this next actor's fall from grace was as public as it gets. Chapter 2. Will Smith. Will Smith's reputation was built on charm, wit, and massive box office appeal. Everyone loved him. From The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to Men in Black and Independence Day, he embodied the quintessential movie star. However, everything changed in March 2022 during the 94th Academy Awards. After comedian Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, Will's response shocked the world. He stormed onto the stage and slapped Rock in front of a live global audience. The slap, followed by the actor's harsh comments toward Rock, shocked Hollywood and turned the night into one of the most infamous moments in Oscars history. Despite issuing a public apology, Smith's actions had serious consequences. The Academy banned him from attending any future Oscar events for 10 years, and several of his upcoming projects were put on hold. Smith's once untouchable status was forever altered. Though he has since attempted to rebuild his image, including focusing on personal growth and his family, that moment at the Oscars remains a defining point in his career. Chapter 3. Thomas Gibson. For over a decade, Thomas Gibson was a calm, steady presence of Criminal Minds, known for his role as Aaron Hotchner, the disciplined leader of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit. Gibson's portrayal was a cornerstone of the show's success, making him a beloved figure in American television. But in 2016, everything came crashing down. During a heated argument with a writer-producer on set, Gibson lost control and physically kicked the man. Though initially suspended, the incident led to his termination from the series. It was a shocking turn for an actor who had previously been known for his professionalism. This wasn't his first incident, though. In 2010, Gibson faced a similar situation with another member of the crew, leading to anger management classes. But the second time was too much to overlook. Criminal Minds wrote his character out, and Gibson quietly faded from the public eye, taking on small roles in indie projects now and then. Chapter 4. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf's rise to fame was a sight to behold. From his breakout role in Even Stevens to his major role in the Transformers franchise, LaBeouf quickly became one of Hollywood's most talked-about actors. However, his career began to falter as LaBeouf's personal struggles and increasingly erratic behavior took center stage. He made headlines for bizarre performances, including walking out of the premiere of Nymphomaniac and wearing a paper bag over his head that read, "I am not famous anymore." His volatile behavior off-screen and multiple legal issues, including accusations of assault and battery, alienated many in the industry. LaBeouf's name became permanently associated with controversy, and his roles became fewer and farther between. While he has since tried to rehabilitate his image through public apologies and small, critically acclaimed films, his reputation is forever tied to his earlier misdeeds, with many questioning whether the talented actor will ever truly recover. Today, Shia LaBeouf has been attempting to rebuild both his career and personal life. In recent years, he has shifted his focus towards smaller, more nuanced roles that showcase his acting depth. His 2020 performance in Honey Boy, a semi-autobiographical film he wrote and starred in, was praised by critics and marked a significant step in his attempt at redemption. LaBeouf also sought therapy and worked through his past issues, including his well-publicized legal battles and personal struggles. However, his journey to full recovery is still ongoing. Chapter 5. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was once a Hollywood bad boy who could do no wrong. From his early roles in Platoon and Wall Street to his successful stint on 2.5 Men, Sheen was a constant presence in the entertainment world. However, Sheen's personal life, filled with erratic behavior, scandalous relationships, and substance abuse issues, began to overshadow his career. The tipping point came in 2011 when Sheen was fired from 2.5 Men after a very public meltdown, which included bizarre interviews, trashing hotel rooms, rants against his co-stars and the co-creator of his show, and a series of erratic tweets. Sheen's highly publicized relationships with Hollywood starlets like Denise Richards, who was his wife from 2002 to 2006, and Brooke Mueller, his second wife, were also tainted by allegations of abuse and violence, and all of this became regular tabloid fodder. Sheen later admitted to his struggles with addiction, but the damage was done. His career, once flourishing, came to a halt, and his reputation as one of Hollywood's most unpredictable stars sealed his fate. While he has attempted to return to acting in smaller roles, his legacy is now defined more by his personal chaos than his acting talent. Chapter 6. Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer's downfall is one that no one saw coming, especially since his career seemed destined for greatness. With standout performances in films like The Social Network and Call Me by Your Name, Hammer was poised to become one of Hollywood's leading men, slated for major roles in many films. His career was on an upward trajectory until 2021, when disturbing text messages allegedly sent by Hammer were leaked online. These messages, which detailed extreme fantasies, including extremely disturbing references to violent crimes, ignited a media firestorm. Hammer initially denied the allegations, but within days, multiple women came forward accusing him of emotional abuse, manipulation, and coercion. That was all it took for Hollywood to distance itself from him, and major roles vanished. His talent agency dropped him, and his career evaporated almost overnight. Even his fans had no reason to defend him, and that's when it was pretty much over for the actor. Hammer's story became more sensational as documentaries delved into the dark secrets of his powerful family. Hammer is the great-grandson of Armie Hammer, a wealthy businessman and philanthropist who was the former chairman of Occidental Petroleum. His grandfather, Julian Hammer, was a well-known figure in high society, often involved in controversial deals and affairs. Some reports suggested that Armie Hammer, the patriarch, was involved in some shady business dealings and had a reputation for exploiting his employees, further destroying the family name. Armie's father, Michael Hammer, has also faced his share of legal troubles, including a divorce that resulted in allegations of financial and personal misconduct. The documentary House of Hammer, released in 2022, delved deeper into these darker family secrets, further painting a picture of a troubled lineage which seemed to have been passed down to the actor. By 2022, Hammer had left Hollywood and was reportedly working in timeshare sales in the Cayman Islands, an astonishing contrast to his former life as a rising star. Chapter 7. Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey's career trajectory is one of the most shocking stories in Hollywood history. For decades, Spacey was one of the most respected actors in the industry, with 2 Academy Awards under his belt and an iconic era-defining role in House of Cards. His performance as Frank Underwood made him the face of early streaming, and it seemed like he was here to stay for a long time. But in 2017, during the height of the Me Too movement, actor Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of making unwanted advances on him when Rapp was just 14 years old. The revelation set off a chain reaction, with several other men coming forward to accuse Spacey of similar misconduct. Spacey's apology, which coincidentally revealed his sexuality, did little to calm the backlash. Within hours, Netflix severed ties with him, and House of Cards ultimately wrote his character out of the show. The movie All the Money in the World reshot his scenes with Christopher Plummer, a rare move that solidified Spacey's decline. Though some legal cases have been dismissed, Spacey's reputation remains irreparably damaged, leaving him with only a handful of low-profile independent projects. He now serves as a warning that no amount of talent can shield an actor from the consequences of abuse of power. Chapter 8. Megan Fox. Megan Fox was Hollywood's undisputed it girl in the 2000s. After her breakout role in Transformers in 2007, the world knew her for her striking looks and tough girl persona. However, her career took a sharp downturn in 2009 after an infamous interview with Wonderland magazine, where she compared Transformers director Michael Bay to Hitler and called him a tyrant on set. While Bay was reportedly willing to move forward and let this distasteful joke go, producer Steven Spielberg wasn't, and Fox was written out of Transformers: Dark of the Moon. More people opened up, and Fox slowly gained a reputation for being difficult and unprofessional spread, and Hollywood distanced itself from her, casting her in fewer and smaller roles. But she isn't the only one to blame here, because the media's portrayal of her, focused on her sexual appeal and scandalous comments, led to a period of career stagnation. In the late 2010s, Fox began to rebuild her career, discussing how misogyny and typecasting had contributed to her fall. Her role in Till Death and her high-profile relationship with Machine Gun Kelly marked her return to the public eye. But it's safe to say that she doesn't enjoy the same level of fame she once did. Chapter 9. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was once one of Hollywood's most promising stars. As a young actor, she captured audiences' hearts in The Parent Trap 1998 and Freaky Friday 2003, showcasing a remarkable talent that hinted at a long and successful career. By 2004, her breakout role in Mean Girls solidified her career. Lohan was poised to become one of the industry's top actresses, admired for her beauty, charm, and incredible range. However, her promising career quickly began to unravel as her off-screen behavior took center stage. Her troubles started with her struggles with substance abuse, leading to multiple rehab stints starting in 2007. Just as her career was on the rise, Lohan became more synonymous with tabloid headlines than with film roles. She was arrested multiple times, often for driving under the influence, and was involved in numerous legal disputes. Her public struggles with addiction and her erratic behavior made it hard for her to regain the steady, respectable career that had once seemed inevitable. Lohan's personal life became a constant spectacle, overshadowing her acting talent. Though she made several attempts at a comeback, including starring in the indie film The Canyons and attempting to revive her career with a reality show in the early 2010s, none of these efforts were successful. The media's portrayal of Lohan, combined with her continued issues with substance abuse and legal problems, painted her as a typical bad girl. Lohan eventually cleaned up her act and began accepting smaller independent roles with her 2020 film Till Death and a 2022 appearance in Falling for Christmas, marking her return to acting. Her personal and professional life is still a work in progress. But Lindsay Lohan's revival is a reminder that redemption and growth are still possible for those willing to fight for it. Chapter 10. Paula Deen. Paula Deen was once the epitome of Southern charm. Her beloved Food Network shows and turned her signature cooking style into a multi-million-dollar empire. Her personal brand, affable, warm, and full of indulgence, struck a chord with fans, making her one of the most successful TV chefs of her time. Her success extended beyond television, with cookbooks, a line of kitchen products, restaurants, and even a line of frozen foods. But in 2013, Deen's carefully crafted image crumbled after allegations of racism surfaced. A former employee sued Deen for racial discrimination and harassment, and claimed that she had used racial slurs in the workplace, and even fantasized about hosting a plantation-themed wedding in front of everyone, and claimed that she wanted black staff to serve as servants to pay homage to what she called the Old South Slash. When Deen admitted to using the offensive language under oath, the public backlash was unforgiving. The Food Network severed ties, major retailers like Walmart and Target pulled her products, and her empire unraveled within weeks. Though she attempted to rebuild her career, it never quite achieved the same momentum it once had, and for good reason. Chapter 11. Lea Michele. Lea Michele was destined to be Hollywood's next big thing. She became a household name thanks to her role as Rachel Berry on Glee, the beloved musical TV series that debuted in 2009. With her powerhouse voice, impeccable acting skills, and an ability to portray a determined, ambitious character, Michele quickly became the breakout star of the show. Her portrayal of Rachel Berry earned her critical acclaim, and her popularity soared, resulting in multiple award nominations, including a Golden Globe nomination. Her success extended beyond Glee, as she released a solo album titled Louder in 2014, which showcased her impressive vocal range. Michele's early career trajectory seemed like it would be smooth sailing. She was not only one of the most talented actresses of her generation, but also one of the most celebrated figures in Hollywood. At the time, it looked like she had a long career ahead of her. However, everything changed in 2020 when a storm of controversy erupted surrounding Michele's behavior on set. Actress Samantha Ware accused Michele of bullying her while they worked together on Glee. Ware claimed that Michele had made her life miserable on set, calling her racial slurs and creating a toxic work environment. The allegations quickly gained momentum as other former castmates and crew members shared their own negative experiences working with Michele. The claims painted her as a difficult and demanding actress who had created a hostile and unpleasant atmosphere on set. In the wake of these accusations, Michele faced intense public backlash. Fans who had once adored her were suddenly turned off by her behavior, and her reputation was tarnished. Several companies that had worked with Michele, including major brands, severed ties with her, and her career seemed to be at a standstill. Michele responded to the allegations with a public apology, expressing regret for her actions and vowing to do better. However, the damage had already been done. Despite the fallout, Michele did eventually return to the stage, landing the role of Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl in 2022. Her performance was met with mixed reviews, but her return to Broadway demonstrated that there may still be some room for redemption. Michelle's career is a complex one, and while she has made efforts to bounce back from the scandal, the shadow of her past behavior continues to hang over her public image. Chapter 12. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was once one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. With iconic roles in Lethal Weapon and Braveheart, and a reputation as both an actor and director, he seemed untouchable. He was also a talented director, achieving critical acclaim for his films such as The Passion of the Christ and Apocalypto. Gibson was regarded as a multifaceted talent who could command box office numbers and critical praise with ease. But in 2006, everything came crashing down for him. During a drunk driving arrest in Malibu, Gibson made anti-Semitic remarks to the arresting officer, a scandal that quickly exploded across the media. The remarks, which included blaming Jews for all the wars in the world, immediately sparked outrage. Gibson apologized publicly, but there was no saving face now. And the controversies didn't stop there. In 2010, Gibson was heard making racist and misogynistic comments during a recorded argument with his then-girlfriend, Oksana Grigorieva. These recordings were leaked to the press, further tarnishing his already fractured reputation. Despite the damage to his career, Gibson tried to make a comeback. In 2016, he directed Hacksaw Ridge, a World War II film that was met with critical acclaim and earned him Academy Award nominations for Best Director and Best Picture. The film's success showed that, while Hollywood might have shunned him, his talent was undeniable. Yet, his past controversies still cast a long shadow, and his return to the limelight was always met with skepticism. Even though Gibson has continued to work in the industry, appearing in films like Daddy's Home, 2, and Dragged Across Concrete, his career is forever marked by the public scandals that nearly derailed it. Hollywood sure is a crazy place. Which one of these actors' shocking journeys surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.